remember that one club baseball practice we had? It was like the weekend Casey turned 21 and he went out to a brewery with his parents and they dropped him off his practice. So he had a few drinks in him. Not only did he have
Yes.
a few drinks in him, he's walking around the college campus, dry campus, with a beer. And we're telling him, Casey, you can't do this. He's like, why not?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Two Man Podcast. We got a very special episode number 19 for all of you out here. So we are known as the Two Man Podcast, but today we have a very special surprise for all of you. We're turning the Two Man Podcast into the Three Man Podcast today. Tyler, how about you introduce our guest?
That's right. It's no other than the anime loving, beer drinking, bright color wearing, nice hair looking, the man, the myth, the legend, my friend, Carl's friend, Casey Ruff. Casey, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I hope you liked your introduction.
I'm more than ready for that. Thank you.
Casey, welcome to the show, man. I wish I was live there in Studio Garnett to hang out with you guys, but Zoom will do it justice for today.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
Have I been a gracious host so far?
So far, so good. Yes, thank you. The water is phenomenal.
Has he said Happy Hanukkah?
It's not that time of year. It's not that.
No.
I haven't said happy. I haven't said Merry Christmas.
No, we got a couple weeks for that, but we do have the new setup for the guests. We got the Christmas tree.
Yeah, look at that.
We got Lenny the Laka. I got some drinks.
Nice.
So we're very diverse here. We're ready
Yes,
for
we love it.
definitely a great episode.
Oh, I love that, man. Dude, we got a lot in store for today. Casey, but first, how about you tell the two-man fandom, for those that don't know anything about you, a little bit about yourself.
Well, I mean, our gracious, my gracious host for this evening said it pretty much for the good part. Yes, anime lover. We're gonna forget about that. Love my beer, big beer guy. Big traveling guy, as you two may know, because as I just went on my trip to Europe, which was phenomenal. Graduated University of New Haven with you two as well. Played baseball with the two of you. Played baseball even in high school. I know this is a New York podcast, but we have a Boston fan in the house tonight. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I know. It's okay. But I mean, forensic science, chemistry concentrated. Love sports. Love traveling. Love the podcast.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, Casey, we're very excited with that intro, and you kind of touched on it a little bit, and what we want to get started on right away. And we want to hear all about your traveling trip to Europe.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was a trip, that was for sure. So I went to 15 countries and over 30 cities among those countries.
Damn.
How many months?
Dude.
How many months? That was just like 2 months and some change. So 2 months and plus like 3-4 days.
Nice.
So it was phenomenal. A lot of money spent, a lot of time spent, and a lot of memories and friends along the way as well. That was, I would go back in a heartbeat if I could.
Yeah.
How many people do you think you met along your traveling, Casey, that you maybe stay in contact with after, or just kind of, people that you got? Do you have like a Facebook group or something you join?
Okay, so in terms of like people I've met entirely, I don't remember exactly where I was for followers. I went from like almost 500 followers on Instagram to 750.
Look at you, Mr. Pop.
Wow.
But again, half of them I probably didn't even talk to. Just we exchanged, contact among the hostels and everything, because hostels, like I get the environment. It's not the best, but it was cheap.
Yeah.
I was safe about it, and everything worked out. But in terms of the people I still talk to, literally this morning, I have an Instagram. That was like the main way, not Facebook, because I think Facebook is for older than us. I think we're in the Instagram era of where we are.
Yeah. My bad.
But it's okay. It's okay. So I have a group from like Barcelona that I'm still talking to. Where there's 3 other people in that. Then I have a group from Prague. I have a few people from there, from the hostel as well. And I still talk to some people in like Prague, Australia, people I met along the way that I just have their number separately and talk to them as well. Like the guy in the Barcelona chat texted me saying, I just had 12 shots of tequila the night before, about to go scuba diving, wish me luck. I'm like, there's no way you do that without puking. He said he got through it. And I'm like, you are a tank, because I could never ever do that. If I 12 shots of tequila that night, good night. So
how's that guy not getting lost at sea?
Huh?
How's he not getting lost at sea?
Yeah, really.
He's not. Hopefully he wasn't the one driving the boat.
Yeah.
But no. Apparently he went scuba diving, and he works across in Europe all the time, but he's actually from Tennessee, believe it or not. So like,
Oh,
someone from the
American,
States,
yeah.
another American, had a blast. Oh my God, we partied in Barcelona every night.
Yeah.
Like specifically our hostel was a party hostel,
Oh, nice.
that's crazy.
and every night is the same thing over and over again. Like your night starts at 6:30, whether you like it or not. It just has to start. So like this hostel, as a party hostel it has a bar.
Wow.
The bar starts off, as long as you're following the Instagram, which is 2 seconds, look it up, follow. You start off with a free beer or sangria. The beer,
Damn.
big beer guy, right?
Sure.
It was Budweiser. So I went with the sangrias because one,
God.
I've had
Just spit out
Budweiser,
my
I can
water.
get it in the States. And two, sangria is more well known, like the wine and all that's known in Spain.
Sure.
It's gonna taste better and it has way more alcohol in it. Trust me, because after one or two, you're feeling it.
Yeah.
And like I said, first you start off with that free one. Then you have from 7:30 to 9:30, happy hour, right? You got 2-hour happy hour, 2 sangrias for the price of €5 or $5, give or take. I'm like,
Sign you
can't
up. Yeah.
find that in the States.
Yeah.
You do that until 9:30, and then there's a pub crawl for like $25. If you do that pub crawl, if you pay for that pub crawl before 10:30, you get another sangria, and then you go on this pub crawl, which includes 3 free entries into bars and a club. The club alone is $15 to get into the club,
Jeez.
and you get a
Damn.
free shot before.
It's not bad at all.
And you skip the lines. I'm like,
Jeez.
for 3 nights, every single time.
I mean, that's a steal. I mean, you and me have talked about it, and me and Cole have talked about it in this podcast how overrated American bar crawls can be.
Yes.
because
Literally
we're
so
close to
overrated.
that. It's you pay $40 for your ticket. You still wait on the line, and there's no deals. There's no free nothing.
No, American pub crawls are not the same as Europe.
Yeah.
They actually know what they're doing. You get free alcohol, you get free admission.
That's
Like
what you
you
need.
don't wait in line, you skip
Yeah.
the line,
Yeah.
and it's just a group of a bunch, usually tourists like me, right? A bunch of Americans, Canadians, Australians, but then you also get other people from Europe. Like we had people from Sweden. You had Denmark, like from Copenhagen, a bunch of other things, and France. And I'm like,
Yeah.
this is fantastic.
Yeah.
And oh my God, like it's just not the same. Like you said, overrated. Home, Europe, totally worth it. Especially Barcelona and a few other places as well. So
Dude, Casey, that's great. You kind of touched on one of the questions I wanted to ask you, talking about beer. You said that they had a Budweiser. So my question, if you were to have it on the top of your head, we know, myself, Tyler, and a couple of our friends know that you track every single beer that you have, no matter where you are. And I just want to know, how many beers do you think, or different beers did you have on the trip? Because I know you track all the different ones, not like
Yes.
counting how many you actually had in total,
yes,
but how
we
many,
don't know
like,
that.
so say like it was like 1,000 beers that you had before you went. What is the number now?
All right. So I started off my trip before the trip, I already had 950 beers in America, let alone how much I had there.
Yeah.
I
That's
ended up
wild.
walking out with over 1,100. So about 150 different types of beer in 63 days. And like you said, Carl, I could not tell you how many beers I had in total, but I can tell you that I had, because the good part about the app, you can actually keep track because it does it for you. So you don't have to remember it.
Yeah.
You don't have to memorize it.
Yeah.
And the beer there is not the same as back home, but Germany and Belgium have some fantastic beer, especially Oktoberfest.
I was about to say, you were there for
that
Oktoberfest,
was
which was really
Oktoberfest that was also kind of a blur, but it was also fantastic and a lot of fun and very good tasting beer as well.
Very nice. And yeah, Casey also got me into the beer drinking app. It's Untapped, so
Yes.
I just hit 100.
Oh, look at you! You're
I'm a
almost a
th-
Casey.
I'm 1,000. Yeah, I'm 1,000 behind
Wow.
Casey. I don't know if I'll ever catch up, and if I did, I'll be in a grave. But
Yeah, no, if you ever catch up to Casey, I think we'll have to have a serious conversation.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think so.
and you would also have to go to Europe because there's a lot of beers that was
Yeah,
from Europe as
true,
well.
true.
Like, and that's what really helps the app. And I can't
yeah,
believe
it's
they
when you
have
can't
those.
even get here.
You can't
So
even get
that's a
here,
once in a
so.
lifetime for sure. For
Yeah,
sure.
my dad wanted to kill me, so
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. And you kind of touch on it a little bit too, but what was like living in a hostel? It seems like everyone has the same vibe. Just like, hey, nice to know you. You want to get drunk? Let's go.
like yeah. So hostel is all like, especially if you do the party hostel. It's exactly what you said. Like
What
everyone's
is
on the
the
same page
Casey? What is the
of
difference between a party hostel and a regular hostel?
regular hostels. Some hostels are actually age limited from like 18 to 40. Those are the ones that are usually, those are the ones I usually did because those are like the, younger crowd who want to go out. Like you don't like, I'm not going to say you don't want to, but ideally pretend there's a 50-year-old or like, we'll say even like a grandma, grandpa in a hostel, trying to save money while they're there. But then they start complaining about noise because of like the bar and, everyone coming in late and stuff like that.
Sure.
That's why they set the limits beforehand.
Bunch of Karens.
There's a bunch of
Bunch
Karens.
of Karens.
They're trying to
And now
prevent that.
So you've got other country Karens.
Yes, other country Karens. None of them spoke English. At least the older people, because like I feel like our generation, like the younger they are, the more languages they know. I am obviously an exception because in America, I don't think any of us, well, not any of us, most of us cannot speak more than English. So
yeah.
And I barely do that well.
I was saying I barely do that myself. I mean, I know.
I think the three of us have a hard time of speaking English correctly.
Yes.
And they knew immediately that, oh, you're American, don't worry, we'll speak English. I'm like, oh, what if I know? They're like, no, you don't. I'm like, I know.
Yeah, I always find that crazy. Like, I mean, obviously movies and TV shows are a little different, but I always feel like in the shows they're always speaking like Italian or Spanish or something, and then an American comes in and they're just like, oh, I'll start speaking American. It's just like, you son of a bitch.
I'll start speaking American. Nice.
Yeah, you're showing off to me, But no, that's cool. That's cool.
And a lot of people knew that I was American. Like there's a bunch of, English speaking countries. You got Australia and you got Canada. Usually it's between Canada and America. But apparently with, how I am, the talkative, me trying to reach out to people by myself, they're like, oh, you're definitely American. I'm like, why? You're like, because when you introduced your name, when you said Casey, you were so proud of it. I'm like, is no one else proud of their name, or is it just me? I was like, what is going on? I'm like, well, you're right.
I kind of understand what they mean by that, though. When you like introduce yourself, like I've heard you say it like multiple times. You're like, "Hi, I'm Casey." Like you are very you're very to the point. Yeah, I'm Casey, and you shake their hand very hard.
What am I supposed to say? I'm Casey.
I don't know.
I don't know, but
like,
I am.
The way you say it, I can't.
Yeah, that literally reminds me. Casey's full of energy and definitely a talker. He says it.
Yes.
I'll never forget the first day I kind of met him. We were in Intro to Music at New Haven, and obviously we didn't know each other yet. Casey, the great student he is, or tried to be, was sitting front row. I was in the back row, and we had this Russian teacher, and she kept talking and saying things, but anytime she said something, Casey had something to say right back, and it was really funny. But I'm sitting in the back going, this guy's funny, but God, he talks a lot. And I'll never forget the next day I'm walking through Bart's with you, and I hear someone go, Carl, and it's this guy, I think wearing the same Hawaiian shirt from the night before, and he's like, I find out that you guys knew each other from club baseball, and then the rest was history, and look at us now.
Yep.
Yes, that's true.
Oh no, it's crazy. Casey definitely is a character. I remember when I first met Casey, he would show up to practice. So I met Casey through club baseball, and Casey would show up to practice maybe once a month, and he would then come to every game and expect to play, and then he'd be pissed that he didn't play. And I'm like, Casey, you need to show up to the practices and you'll play. Like, you're good, but you were just so caught up with going to see your ex-girlfriend at the time every other weekend.
We go through those things, we go through them.
She who shall not be named.
Yes.
Okay. Exactly.
Yes,
but still,
very
very funny that you became one of the kids who I was like, all right, I don't want this kid to show up to practice because he's just so annoying, to one of me and Tyler's best friends. So good on you, Casey.
Big turnaround.
Thank you.
Good turnaround.
Do you remember that one club baseball practice we had? It was like the weekend Casey turned 21, and he went out to a brewery with his parents, and they dropped him off his practice. So he had a few drinks in him. Not only did he have a few drinks in him, he's walking around the college campus, dry campus, with a beer, and we're telling him, Casey, you can't do this. He's like, why not? It's like, one, walking around in the public is not allowed, state law. Dry campus, double state law. You cannot do this doubly.
But I was 21. I didn't know. I just found out about the rule when I'm 21. Is there like a guidebook I'm supposed to read? No one taught me these things.
Dude,
I wish 21. You can drink wherever you want.
I wish I pressed the emergency button on the New Haven polls.
Excuse me, sir. This guy needs a heads up on life.
This guy is drunk and intoxicated. Please write him up.
Yeah.
In a dry campus. Yeah, of course. No worries.
Yeah. But yeah, unbelievable for sure. But yeah, we definitely had some fun nights in college. Me and Casey lived together for 2 years at Lee Street, the best house out of all college houses that we've ever had.
Yeah. Yours is up there too.
And then we
Carl,
lived
don't
at
worry.
that other place.
okay.
What was it? 10 Allen, 9 Allen.
Yeah, 10
yeah.
Allen.
For a little bit
Yeah, I
too.
think so. I think
9 Allen, you better remember that. You all slept there. You all ate there. You all
Yes.
peed there. You all showered there.
We quarantined together as well.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
we got to know each other very well.
Yeah,
so.
Casey was on the trip with us when we went to South Padre. We came back. We quarantined in 9 Allen for 2 weeks. So
won it in a contest.
yeah, we have some fun memories from there too, but definitely not as many as from your Europe trip for sure. What was all the countries you went to?
Oh my God! So we started in Portugal. Went from Portugal to Spain. This is going to sound very redundant, but Portugal to Spain.
Yeah.
Spain to Switzerland. Switzerland to Belgium. Belgium to Czech Republic. Czech Republic to Poland. Lithuania. Latvia. Estonia. Finland, Sweden, Denmark, Netherlands, Belgium, France.
Wow.
So
That's a lot of moving.
It was always on the move, mostly
track
by
your
train.
steps?
Mostly by train. I took one flight because I had to go from Finland to Sweden. It was water, so I kind of had to fly. And then I took a ferry from Estonia to Finland because it was just a 2-hour ferry instead of like a 30-minute flight. I was like, I just might as well take the ferry. So
That's crazy.
but
That's
no,
nuts.
oh my God.
What do you think your favorite country was out of all the countries you visited? Which one do you think left the biggest impression on you?
The biggest impression, and I've been telling everyone this, everyone's like, really? Like, and some people are like, I've heard about it. So Prague in Czech Republic. So everyone would think like Spain, Barcelona, France, Paris.
Yeah,
I know
sure.
everyone would think that. Like Cody went with me, my big in the fraternity, and also
Shout out Cody.
Shout out Cody for
Shout out Cody.
He loved Paris. He felt like he was home. He didn't want to leave Paris.
I believe.
But for me, I thought
Makes sense.
Prague was where I belonged the most. Starting with the fact that I mentioned a pub crawl in Barcelona before. The best pub crawl is in Prague. So for $30 to $40. And Carl, I know you would want to jump in on this every second you can.
I'm there. I'm ready.
You start off with a 2-hour open bar.
Oh God.
That would be good morning and good night.
So you can't have liquor until 30 minutes in. You still have an hour and a half of liquor. Like that's gonna stop you at 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You play Pong the entire time. And another thing about Europe I realized too.
That's dope.
Well, the first bar. This is all at the first bar, right?
Are they
the Drunken Monkey.
the first
It's called the Drunken Monkey.
Are they fire at Pong over there?
No, they are all atrocious. I actually went undefeated in Prague.
Jesus.
We would have ran the table.
You two would have killed it.
Oh, it would have been lights out. The partner I had was from Chile. He was one of the people from the hostel. And apparently if you worked in the hostel, you get to go to all these for free. And you get a free place to stay. As long as you work for them,
Jeez.
you would have to do a shift every 4 times a week, just like anyone else, or 5 days a week. But it was, so you start with a 2-hour bar, you play Pong the entire time, you're ripping shots. By the time you're done, I kid you not, I couldn't even tell you how much I had. We're going to go 12 and 12, and we're talking 12 beers and 12 shots. I'm already
That's
drunk.
crazy.
You do not need to drink the rest of the night. I promise you.
I
start with that 2-hour bar.
Don't have to tell me twice.
But you still have 4 more places to go to. You have 3 bars,
Oh my gosh.
1 club,
Brother.
right? And just like Barcelona, you skip the lines. And before you walk into each club, free shot. They literally have a bottle of some type of cherry vodka, and they give you the count from when we work in a bar, bartending, 1 to the 6 count, and then bang.
6 counts.
Whoa, oh yeah, oh you don't do 6 counts? I do 6
I don't
counts.
know.
But
6
6
It's
counts.
supposed to be 4 or 5.
Oh,
I
no.
thought it was 3.
Oh, yeah, 6 count. 6 count was wonderful. So pretty much you don't really drink at any of these places. You just keep the buzz or drunkenness with that 1 shot before each place, because you're only at each place between 45 to an hour. So it just keeps the buzz going because you get so drunk off that first bar, you're just spinning, and you lose people, and then you look at your phone the next morning and there's pictures that you don't know how got there and don't know why.
It's like the Hangover every night.
It's
you know?
like the end of the Hangover, just going
Yeah.
through all the pictures the next
Oh my
morning.
God.
Oh God.
Oh Jesus! And especially the night that I ended up staying up the entire morning. I met I met a girl in Prague who knew everything about Prague. She brought me to a
girl.
place to watch the sunrise.
Oh.
We got a bottle of champagne. By the way, you can drink outside legally in Europe.
Oh, so he had it going.
Oh,
Nice.
so,
He
okay,
had it going
yeah.
early.
Actually, no, 18 in Europe, by the way. So it's even better there.
Jeez.
But I just got the full experience in Prague. I was like, whoa, I need to do it again. I don't know. It was just a blast in Prague. And then like even that, like, you know how like in America it's just pavement everywhere?
Sure.
It's cobblestone everywhere. There's
cool.
like the car, like the cars, everything, they take your times, and the transportation better. You get everywhere for like $1.50 in Prague. I actually got a ticket in Prague, believe it or not. Because how? It was for the tram. I didn't know how the thing worked. I hopped on, and a woman went up to me, started speaking Czech. Obviously was like no habla inglés.
No habla.
Totally different language. Couldn't had no idea what to say. And she's like, oh, English, I can see. And
Funny.
and she's like, where'd you take it? I'm like, what do you mean ticket? And then she like, me and the two guys that I met from the hostel, we got taken off, 2 Americans, 1 Canadian. And she
got
goes,
arrested.
next time, here you go. So it ended up being like $40 for the ticket, which isn't that bad. $40 is not bad.
No.
But the ticket to get onto the ferry or like the little tram,
It was like $5.
it's like $1. I'm like, okay, I wish I knew how to do it.
Yeah.
But I was told you always got to be, deal with the police somewhere. So it was good to do it in Prague as well. So
Yeah, a little slap on the wrist.
it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, public intoxication, all that good stuff.
Yeah, you could have
thank God I was
gotten messed up.
Thank God I was sober. This was just me this is just me going to visit the city, and like they have like a big castle with a nice, beautiful church and a bunch of history. So I looked at that and everything, but oh no, it was Prague was the best by far. Not by far. Barcelona was also a blast. Like we're talking 1A. We'll go 1-2. Prague
1-2. Okay. All right.
In Barcelona, you're actually supposed it's like a tradition. I don't think it really is, but you can make a tradition because all the clubs are right near the beach, and the clubs close at like 7 a.m. They close at 7 a.m. You literally you party till club closes. You walk to the beach, and you watch the sunrise at the beach with everyone that you've hung out with throughout the night, and then you go to bed. You wake up around 2 o'clock and you start all over again.
Oh my God.
Cool. So we're going to Barcelona next year? Is that what I'm hearing?
I'll go to anywhere.
If I go to Barcelona, my body's gonna lie in Barcelona for the rest of existence.
That's
You
a
know
lot.
that whole beach portion, that's gonna be my bed and my grave. Because me staying out nowadays is like 1 a.m. I'm cooked.
Yeah. Okay. The past 2 times Tyler and I went out, we were out until 4 a.m. and 3 a.m. So 1 a.m. cooked. Yeah, my ass.
Well, clearly you weren't looking at me. I'm leaning on the people next to us asleep.
He made it to the Uber, and that's when
Lights
lights are
are
out.
out.
You,
You're not waking me up.
you never remember the Uber. I'm with you on that. I don't think I remember the Ubers ever.
No,
Anyways,
no.
Usually because we're knocked out, and then we get into the place and we're like, all right, it's time.
I feel like all 3 of us are pretty heavy sleepers, but especially if we have a few drinks in us and get home, there's no shot you're waking us up. We've tried waking up Carl once when we were away. We hopped on him, slapped him silly, didn't wake up. Jimmy just did it to me last week, apparently. He said when I fell asleep at his house, he was slapping me in the face, didn't move an inch. Casey, you can push, won't move an inch. So if you ever see us drunk and asleep, we're not dead. We're not dead.
Don't even try. Don't even try.
Exactly.
Let us get our beauty sleep.
Yeah,
we can't look this good without our sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
we need our full 12.
Full 12.
Seriously. Nights like those.
So Casey, another question I have for you about this is going back to the hostels. So what is it like privacy wise? Because you just talked about meeting a girl in Prague. So say you want to, get down to the nitty gritty of things. What is like the privacy like? Do you have to go buy another hotel, or do you just kind of say, F it, we're doing it in the hostel?
So, and I actually have a funny story. Well, with the thing in Prague, I went to her place. But the funny story, the funny story with most of these hostels, and especially the rooms that I get, because I get the cheapest one, which is the largest one in mixed dorms, right? So there's even girls in
Co-ed, yeah, sure.
Co-ed. The largest one I was in a room with 22 other people, and I was in Barcelona, my first hostel ever. I'm like, I guess this is a standard. It was not. Most of them are
bunk beds?
They're bunk beds. You get a curtain. Some places you get curtains. Some you don't.
Nice.
Every place has all of them are bunk beds though, unless you get a solo one, which I got once because of a misunderstanding in Estonia. But we'll talk about that later. But the funny story is, in terms of privacy, you don't really have any. And with what you're talking about, ideally, and I had to do this, you have to go to the bathrooms because the bathrooms are also co-ed. And it's like no one's showering at 6 o'clock. Some people might be, not ideally, people aren't showering
not the party
at night.
one.
Not the party
Not
one.
in the
They're
party
not showering
one.
that
Not
time.
in the party one.
And the best part is you clean yourself right there. That's even the best part. And so what actually, and the funny story, when I was out of all the places, by the way, Dusseldorf, Germany, right?
Great.
I was in Dusseldorf, Germany.
Real sexy name.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Really
rolls right off
sexy.
the tongue.
Sounds like Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
Exactly,
Yeah, it does.
exactly.
And that's a sexy man.
Oh yeah, yes he is. And so that, like you said, Carl, like, you know, we talking with one of the girls from the dorm or the hostel. We end up doing it in the bathroom in the next morning, right? Yes. And the next morning, so we're sitting down, we're you know, I got another day before I clock out and get out of the hostel, right? I'm having breakfast. And the people that I hung with the night before, they were like, we heard a funny story. I'm like, oh no, what happened? They're like, someone complained this morning that people were having sex in the bathroom. And I'm like, oh no.
You were like, oh my God.
I thought I
who
was going to
could've
get in trouble.
done that?
I thought I was going to get in trouble, right?
Yeah.
And apparently the person that was like the worker that was working at the hostel was like an older man. Like, I think it was his hostel because I saw him the day before as well. He literally goes, what do you think? This is a hostel. I'm like,
I mean,
oh,
he's
so
not
so this is expected. And that gave me like the green light for like the rest of the trip, even though like I was already doing it. But the fact that I got caught and the people that like work the hospital, like, I don't know what you expect. It's okay. We clean the bathrooms every day. Just let them be. And I'm just like, I'm in the clear. That was fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah, when
Dude,
you
that's
probably
hilarious.
first heard it, you were like, oh my God, how disgusting, how dare they? I said, we
Yeah.
send them to Guantanamo Bay.
I heard it. I'm like, oh, it couldn't be me. Not at all. And they're like, we know it was you. I was like, I guess, I mean, maybe. And then they said, don't worry, you didn't get in trouble or anything. I was like, oh, thank the Lord. So, but
Awesome.
I mean, they have cameras everywhere, but obviously not in the bathrooms. But like, it's just
Well,
like,
obviously,
but like they know. It's not like, oh yeah, two people go into a bathroom. What's gonna happen? I don't know. They're just using the bathroom for 20
True.
20 minutes tops.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Who knows?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
No,
That's
but
amazing.
like
That's
I,
awesome.
I had my heart stopped and pounding for like a quick few seconds, and then when I heard what the worker said, I'm like, this is phenomenal. this guy understands.
Good to know.
Good to know. Exactly. But no, this. I mean, actually, I hate to say this, and I don't know why I'm admitting this on live, but
I love it. Do it.
when it comes to what happened in Barcelona, I did it in Barcelona as well. But the difference is we did not use the bathroom.
Oh,
In the 22-person dorm, we did it on my top bunk.
nice.
curtain
Let's
there,
go.
We had the curtain. We had the curtain. We had to be. It's just you couldn't be your loud and pound like I was in Dusseldorf. You had to be your quiet and nifty, swifty self. And when I talked to the people from Barcelona, that because they were like, you know, the guys and the girl that I met in Barcelona, they, you know, the friends that I made that I'm still talking to in the chat, they're like, "There's no way you did it like across the bed from me." I'm like, "I'm so sorry." It's just I mean, I didn't know what to say.
Sorry, dude.
I'm
Sorry, it happened.
but,
Man's got to do what a man's got to do.
But oh no, and that's the start of the trip. It was all just, and then I would say though after Prague, I kind of got a little sick. Like, you know, apparently everyone gets something called like a traveler's cough, they call it.
Oh yeah, sure.
And
in a new place.
yeah, new place. You're drinking alcohol. Your immune system isn't really working, and so I had to deal with that for like a good amount of time. But then I got back to the party. I mean, I still partied the next few days, anyways.
Good.
Gotta rally, gotta
Don't
rally.
let that bring you down.
Oh, it didn't bring me down because this is another party hostel in Krakow, Poland, right?
Fire.
Huge party. They had a pub crawl and everything too. But the thing that surprised me the most, I told you I wasn't feeling all right. I'm literally in my underwear in my bed, ready to go to bed. 8:30 p.m. And
I thought you were gonna say you were out just in your underwear.
no,
I was walking the streets of Poland.
just in my underwear. And when I was, I'm in the bed of the hostel, like in the room, right, with a bunch, with like, I mean, what, 14 people was the room, the size of that one. The party ones had the bigger rooms because, you know, they want more people and to be cheaper. The people that work there came in with free shots, saying, "Hey, free shot." You're literally in bed, and you're like, I can't say no. Like, you can't
Yeah.
say no.
That's never
I can't say no.
I proceeded to take that shot. I'm like, it tastes like cherry cough drop. I'm like, I just took cough medicine. I think I'm good to go. You get your free beer at 9 o'clock, between 9 and 9:30 at this party hostel. You pay for the pub crawl, free shot at every place. And I still ended up going out that night. And I had a shot that was called the Hiroshima.
What was in it? Do you know?
Oh, no, I remember what was in it. So it had Bailey's.
Nice.
Vodka.
Nice.
What's the red stuff? Grenadine.
Nice.
There you go, the red stuff.
Oh my
nice.
God, that's so
Wait.
Grenadine. Oh my God.
Wait. Well, because if you look at it, it looks like an explosion.
Yeah.
So like,
I
the white's the sky, the red is the bomb.
That's so messed up.
The Bailey's is like the smoke, and then above it, because we're talking about an atomic bomb, it was green absinthe lit on fire.
I mean,
absinthe is so freaking strong.
It is.
That shit is.
It was like
ridiculous.
70% alcohol.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it was 140 proof.
God.
probably felt like an atomic bomb in your stomach.
Instead of me blowing it out and taking the shot, they recommended I drink out of a straw so I don't burn my esophagus and everything.
Yeah, no shit.
Why didn't you just blow out the shot first?
Yeah, you could have done that.
No. They told us, no, you drink it out of a straw. I was like, whatever you say. I'm like, sure.
I've seen shots on fire.
Sounds-
Usually
Sure. Well, apparently they were worried
grosser.
because it was the absinthe was the issue. Like they were worried that you swallow it, then you're putting fire straight. Like you're putting like, it's like, imagine you're swallowing a Molotov cocktail.
That makes sense.
Bang.
Yeah.
And then whoop, and you would see no more Casey. That would be the end of his trip in Europe, in Poland. So,
My God,
That's crazy. That's so funny.
that's awesome.
Did they speak English when they came in to like give it to you?
Did they speak English when they gave it to me? What? Oh, everyone speak English everywhere. Everyone
Yeah.
speak English. The most trouble was probably France and Spain for the most part, but Portugal, Switzerland. I mean, Switzerland doesn't have their own language. They're like a mix of a bunch of them. Every place knows English. It's definitely the most universal language. That and French, I think, are the top two, with Spanish being third. But no, everyone knew English. I mean, like I said, everyone looked at me like, oh, yep, this is an American. Besides some places. When I was in the Netherlands, they looked at me like, oh my God, are you Dutch? I'm like, no, but thank you. I appreciate it. Close enough.
I can be.
I can be.
That's funny.
For the right
That's
person.
funny.
Yeah, exactly.
The right person.
No, most people spoke English, and oh my God, in Poland, actually, so I was talking about that shot with someone from Canada in Warsaw, Poland. So now I'm like recovering. I'm done. I was so wrong. I'm just talking about it in the streets. Someone that I found out ended up being in my same hostel heard me talk about absinthe. Literally turns around with his girlfriend and goes, "Absinthe? You want absinthe?" I'm like, "Oh." I'm like, "What?"
Oh, no.
He literally, I can you not? It's like those movies where they open your jacket
trench coat.
and he pulls out a bottle. Like, I don't know how it was there. Pulls out a bottle of green absinthe, saying, "I'm like, sure."
Dude,
I'm like, I
look
gotta
that
take it
gave
now.
you, that's hilarious.
And proceeded to finish that bottle with him, his girlfriend, and a few other people. Went out to a club, blacked out because I don't know why I had absinthe, but I did. And and like every time I thought I wasn't gonna drink, I proceeded to drink, and that's
Of
what.
course.
It's because I'm the big yes guy that I am. So
Yeah, and listen,
So-
this was a huge opportunity for you. Not many people can even go to Europe ever, and you got to
Yes.
travel most of Europe in 2 months.
In
You gotta
2
take
months.
that
It's
step
crazy.
off.
I did miss Italy. I'm a little sad about that. There's a few places I missed, and
Yeah, that's crazy that you missed my
I was
motherland.
sacrilege. I know. I'm sorry, Carl. I'm sorry, Carl.
You missed the motherland.
Hey, I was told if I'm doing Italy, I gotta go as a big bang. I can't I rushed everywhere, right? I can't rush Italy. Italy can't be rushed.
Yeah, you're right.
I gotta take my time. And
It's
and I was told
fine
it's more-
Italian cuisine.
He's saving it for you.
I was told it's for a honeymoon,
Yeah.
Carl. So I think it's a honeymoon type of place.
Oh, me and you.
Hey, hey, there's a lot of wine
Let's
there.
go. Yeah, so my last question that I wrote down for you to Casey about this was it kind of goes into what you just said about like drinking and then like not remembering like the night and whatever. Did you ever get lost?
That was my biggest
Like,
fear.
was there a time where you just was there a time where you were just like wandering around the streets of Europe
Uh,
and you just didn't know where you were?
So there was only, and I hate to say it, there was only one time I was actually lost.
Okay, that's good.
For them, yeah, no, I know. For the most part, I had Google Maps the entire time. So all I would do,
Alright.
as long as I had my hostel in the phone, I was fine. There was only one time, and it was actually Oktoberfest. And it was only because I was looking for my stepfather who went with me on this trip. He only went for Oktoberfest.
Gotcha.
And so we were at Oktoberfest drinking, wearing the Lederhosen, looked phenomenal, prosting and cheersing, with the Steins and everything, and my stepdad said he goes to the bathroom. Right? I'm like, okay, yeah, you're good. All we had to eat was one bratwurst the entire day.
Crazy.
Bad idea.
Crazy.
Never recommend you eat definitely before you drink.
I believe
And he's gone for like an hour.
Bratwurst. What even is a bratwurst?
He's like sausage.
It's like a sausage. It's like a hot dog.
Okay.
So it's like a big sausage, big in German, big
Like
in
this
German.
big?
So my stepdad's gone for like an hour. Oh, it's huge. Oh, they're huge. Oh wait, go back. Yeah.
Wow.
No. Whoa. Wait, what are we talking about now?
I was talking about the bratwurst.
Of course. Yes. Smaller. Sorry. Not that small. Jesus. All right. But stepdad's gone for an hour. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna look for him. I go through the bathroom. I knock on every stall. No answer. I don't see him peeing. I'm like, okay, he had to go back to the hotel. So I told everyone I'm drunk. I'm like, I'm going to the hotel. Go to the hotel. He's not there. I'm like, where could he be? I have no idea where he is. And I then I jump on the tram. I'm like, okay, the best way to see him where he is in the city is on this tram. I'm going around the tram looking. I find out the next morning, and I don't remember this because I'll tell you why I don't remember it. My mom told me she called me the next morning saying, "Why were you going in circles around Munich for over an hour?" I fell asleep on the tram, and I get woken up by the person driving and saying, "You got to wake up." I'm like, okay. Like, I remember being woken up.
Back to us not being able to wake up.
Yep. And she woke me. She found a way to wake me up. I'm like, well, okay. And I get off, and I look at my phone, 5% left. I'm like, okay, how far? I can't be that far, right?
Godspeed.
I'm an hour and a half a walk away from my hotel.
Damn.
And I am completely.
Casey, we've done that before. Come on.
Oh, we've done it. Oh, we definitely have. Oh,
That's light work.
and I get a call from my stepdad soon after saying, "Sorry, I was in and out of consciousness in the bathroom." I'm like, oh my god, no wonder why he didn't hear me when I knocked on the door. He said that he was puking guts out and everything. He said he's on his way back with a 15-year-old German boy. He was drinking in the streets, walking my stepdad home because he couldn't find his way back because he was also lost.
You had me in the first half.
No, okay. Obviously, that didn't happen.
I know. That's even funnier.
But so he's on his way to the hotel, and I know it's like
Oh, dude, I thought the same thing, man. I was like,
So
what
sorry.
are you
my introduction to it was very poor, very poor.
He's walking your dad home, which is obviously very funny as well.
Well, I mean, my stepdad's phone is dead, so he's using the 15-year-old boy's son to call my mom, saying, "I'm alive. Don't you worry. I'm on the way back to I met this amazing German boy. It's fantastic." I couldn't tell you. I didn't talk to him.
Okay.
I don't think my stepdad doesn't remember his name either. I'm like, we're just enjoying it, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, he's gonna get to the hotel in 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
My drunk self, because I'm still drunk after a nap for some reason. I think I'm Usain Bolt, and I'm sprinting. I started sprinting, drunk shit, back to the hotel. Oh yeah, I am bolting it. And do you remember when I mentioned how Europe is cobblestone?
Yeah. Oh, ankles.
Oh, that's definitely
my
your
god!
ankles.
It wasn't flat. We're talking right. I take an absolute tumble, right? And, don't you worry. I got right back up, and I kept going. I didn't stop. I did tumble. I literally felt like I was like in like a spy movie. I tumbled and I got right back up. I felt like it was like one smooth motion. Probably wasn't. If someone actually recorded me, it probably was like very drunk and very okay. We're gonna keep going, but
Casey Ruff, more like Tom Cruise.
Yeah, right.
Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
And I get back in like 45, like 50 minutes.
Yeah. Light work.
Oh yeah, I was a mile and a half away, so I was like, I gotta sprint. And
you just
I
walked off
obviously I didn't sprint the entire way. My lungs were dying.
Yeah.
And and I get back, my stepdad looks at me like, and I was lost. Like the only way I remember this is because I got a tour the day before of Munich. If I didn't get that tour the day before and like remember certain things, I would have been screwed.
That's
Absolutely
crazy
screwed.
that like
my phone
as
died.
drunk as you were that you remembered that.
Oh my god, my phone died and everything. And I got back and my stepdad looked at me like, he goes like,
That's crazy.
he goes like, what the hell happened to you? I'm like, I just sprinted. He's like, no. And he saw that I am bleeding everywhere. I scabs on my legs, on my arm. And he's a nurse. He's sobered up because everything is out of him now. He takes care, he does everything he can for me because I'm a bloodbath. And I wake up, go to bed and I wake up the next morning. I go to the bathroom. I stand up after the bathroom. I'm like, my ankle kind of hurts a little bit. ended up spraining my ankle too. I didn't feel it that night, and I woke up next morning. I ended up wearing an ankle brace for like a week, and it was fine after that. It was weak, but it was still fine after that.
You just gotta rally.
And you just gotta rally.
You just gotta rally.
I had the perfect painkiller too. It was fine. No issue. Yeah. So
Natural painkiller.
I was actually lost. And to think Oktoberfest would do that to me too, which makes sense. So.
There's any place to do it. Good God.
It's gotta be Oktoberfest. Were you wearing like the overalls and stuff?
Oh yeah, I was in Lederhosen too. So
you're running
like
back.
Tomboy. Yep, I looked like a
So
tomboy.
paint the scene. You're running back in Lederhosen, just full sprint.
Okay, I had the hat and everything too. I had to pick up the hat and everything, but I was at least wearing sneakers because I didn't want to pay for like those boots because they were like $150 for the boots. I'm like,
no need.
I'm just wearing my sneakers.
no.
Yeah.
Everything else is already $200. I'm like, I'm not gonna spend more money.
Yeah, no need.
Oh, but I'm wearing it every year for Oktoberfest from here on out.
Yeah,
but
that's awesome.
But no, I was lost as all hell. I couldn't. I got lucky. I got back. That is for sure. I could have fell asleep on the grass there and been okay. Like Tyler said,
awesome.
like the way we are. I could have been asleep and I've been satisfied entirely.
That's great. Did you catch any soccer games over there? Any sports?
I wanted to catch sports games so bad. We did not get to catch anything. I tried because I was in Madrid. Tried Real Madrid. They weren't there. Barcelona. They weren't there.
Tough.
I did end up visiting the Ajax soccer team stadium.
Okay.
That was pretty.
Oh, that's cool.
Because last year they won their respective division in the Netherlands.
Nice.
And they were known for worldwide. But of course, when I go, they're like at the bottom of the bracket this year.
Course.
It's like one of those first to last type teams.
Yeah, like the Red Sox.
Well, and Patriots. But I did get a jersey there and everything. So, I mean, I didn't get a number or anything because I didn't know any of the players. I just got it was a cool, nice black and
cool.
white.
They have-
Yeah, those are cool. I feel like
those jerseys are cool.
Soccer jerseys
Yeah.
are cool, yeah.
They're fit and everything. So.
they're fit. What does it make you show off your muscles?
Oh no, sorry. Oh, so fit means like at least from what I learned from the British folk that I met.
Oh.
Fit means like
Oh,
they look good. They look good. I'm
Carl,
sorry.
we don't know.
we're not fit, I guess,
I'm
bro.
sorry.
We're not fit.
That's crazy. I thought the same thing as you,
Yeah,
Carl.
well, I mean, they're called fits as well, which is I use the worst word possible. I'm so sorry. It just came. I haven't used it at all, and
You're
of course
good.
it comes right now. I apologize.
Of course not.
Oh, I'm Casey. I went abroad to Italy,
Oh,
or I
you
went
sound like-
abroad
you
to
sound
Europe.
You sound like my father. Thank you very much.
And I wish we could. I think we have to have Casey on for like 10 more episodes just to go through
Yeah,
this trip.
just to
Because
go
I
over
feel like this
every
was just
single
week one of like 8 weeks.
It was a lot.
But unfortunately, I think we'll move over to our next topic here. Quickly, we want to go. You did say you're big on sports as well.
Yes, I am.
So obviously, Patriots, Bruins, Celtics, Red Sox
Yes.
fan, and then UConn for college basketball.
Yes, go UConn.
But Boston for all that, and that kind of brings just one quick question I had, and it's from our friend Alphonse actually. And it's what's with the downfall of Boston sports lately? What seems to be the problem? Not really, obviously the Celtics and Bruins,
I was gonna say,
but the other two.
So with Boston, with the Bruins and Celtics, they're doing fine, especially with the Celtics in their offseason this year. I think they have a complete team this year. Don't know if they'll win it because just like last year, I thought we were doing well. We blew it again. Just like the Bruins.
You got the old Nick Kristoff Porzingis over there killing it.
And Drew Holiday, and as long as they can stay healthy, because I don't know, that's a whole other thing. But when it comes to at least Red Sox, they've always had issues with pitching. They don't have pitching. They thought they had it in Sale. He pitched, of course, the 1 year he was healthy. The year we got him, we won the World Series. Thank you very much. Hasn't done anything since. I don't think, and he's hurt himself off the field with like a motorbike or what is it? One of those like quads. Yeah. Quads, hurts himself there. Can't play. We're getting rid of a lot of big players. Like we had Betts, we had JD Martinez, we had Schwarber. We didn't try for any of them. We only dished away one of them, which was Betts, right? Mm-hmm. At least we got Verdugo, who's okay out of it. But like we're talking like Betts was an MVP runner again this year. Yep. JD Martinez was huge for the Dodgers, who made a run. You got Schwarber, who even though his average wasn't great, the man can hit home runs and play in the playoffs. And
he always just hits bombs.
He hits bombs. He does his job.
He knows what to do in October.
He definitely knows. And the Red Sox I feel like they're in rebuild and then they're not. Like our signings have been terrible. Trevor Story, for example. I don't think he's played a full season with us yet ever since we signed him.
Yeah.
I don't think he's played a full season. He's supposed to be the replacement for Bogarts. Don't know why we got rid of Bogarts. I thought he could be franchised. Like he wanted to stay, just like Betts. Even Betts, I heard him in a podcast saying he would have loved to stay with Boston if he could.
Yeah.
Like even J.D. Martinez said they love it. Just sometimes the fans are a little annoying, but I get that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, as a New York fan, I know that like a lot of people just say, like, even players that go over there to Boston, they just say that like the New York sports fans are one of the best ones. Like as much as like other, fan bases may hate them, it's like Boston sports fans and like Philly sports fans that are like considered two of the best fan bases to play for.
They're also
New York is always considered one of the worst, but it's also the best because we're the fucking best.
Well, it's because when you're playing good, you're playing good. When you're playing bad, they'll let you know
They'll let you know.
They expect to be deep in the playoffs every season.
Yeah, and especially with Boston recently, that since 2000, they've been like all four of them across the board have been good since I can remember. And like Alphonse said, now that Boston's now taking a dip, so Red Sox definitely taking a dip. And you know what I looked about in the Patriots? I was watching the game the other day. I'm like, when was the last time we drafted someone that was actually good? So not including Christian Gonzalez, because he didn't even stay healthy for a full season, but he was. They called him the silent assassin. He started off great.
He was good. He was
an early runner for Defensive Player of the Year, for Rookie Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah,
we haven't drafted a great player since Dante Hightower, Chandler Jones in 2013, 10 years ago. I'm like, are you kidding me?
I was about to say, because I said Dante was playing in Alabama like 2010.
And he played like 8 years with the Patriots, retired after he tore his pec and everything. And just like, those two guys are phenomenal for us when we made the run. And Belichick's been drafting the last 10 years, and we have not drafted anyone.
He doesn't draft good.
Like
there's a lot of good things about him.
Mac Jones, no, he had one good year, and that was it. And like everyone else, like N'Keal Harry, Sony Michel, no one can stay healthy, and no one can really.
No one's still on the team.
No
really.
one. I mean, N'Keal Harry, I think, is somewhere, but I don't think Michelle's on any teams. Or you don't hear about any of these players. I look back, I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What's your opinion on Mac Jones, both as a Boston fan and then Tyler as the Roll Tide guy? Do you think that he's like done? I was having this conversation with my Muay Thai coach, shout out Omar, and we were talking about how Belichick is just, or even the media has been saying that like he's just a shitty quarterback, or he's not the guy in Boston anymore. But if you fast forward to a year ago, they were like, Mac Jones is the guy. He's the one who's gonna like be here for the long haul. He's a franchise quarterback. And I feel like just the media just flipped on him so fast. Are you quick to flip, or do you think also with everybody else that he is not the guy?
You want to start with Alabama, because that was before now, so
yeah, I mean, at Alabama he was statistically and just like one of the best quarterbacks that has played, and they've had some good ones, obviously with Tua and Hurts as most recently as other quarterbacks that come out of there, but he was just the smartest. He was able to read the defenses, he was good in the pocket, he knew what was going on in the big moments. He was able to deliver, win a national championship with them. And I thought when that draft first happened and the 49ers traded up to get Trey Lance, I thought they really should have reached to get Mac Jones. And that was partially biased, and that was before we knew Purdy was going to be this good. But you go to the 49ers, and I think you're going to be, look at the weapons they have. I think any three of us could be the quarterback over there.
I could throw a lefty, and I probably could be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They have like the top position players over there. So I thought that Mac, and then when he went to the Patriots, I thought that system would have been good for him as well. But I think it's just a situation now that the media is against him. He's lost the locker room, and I think, he's lost his confidence. So I think he's one of those guys that is definitely due for a change of scenery, because this is not the Bama Mac Jones I know.
So from my perspective, so when we first drafted, I'm like, okay, you know what? We need a new quarterback. Cam Newton was definitely not the solution.
No.
I wanted to draft the QB first, and we got one, right? I was ready for it, right? Mac Jones, he's the first year, phenomenal, right? Yeah. He had Josh McDaniels as his offensive coordinator, phenomenal. What ruined Mac Jones is when we put Patricia at the OC, it took away from Mac Jones progressing. I think he took a step back, and like as a rookie quarterback or like a young quarterback, you need to develop.
100%.
Like, and he took a step back with the defensive like play on offense that Patricia was throwing. We threw 50% of our passes were screens.
Trash.
You want it, and
garbage.
And they kept saying he couldn't throw down the field, but he wasn't giving any. And now they're saying he can't throw down the field. You know why? he didn't throw a lot down the field his sophomore year. As Tyler says, sophomore slump, and he had a big one.
Yeah.
And
I've seen him throw down the field. He's accurate. He can do it.
He can.
He can definitely do it.
Yeah.
He wasn't given a chance. And I think the big thing the reason why we're bailing on him now, and I'm on the train now, when I heard that the locker room lost its hope, you're done. Like when you don't have the team backing you up, no offense. Last game against the Giants, right? We lost to the Giants. You know what? A big noodle fight, 2 terrible offenses, but 2 great defenses, right?
Yeah.
Did you not notice the difference between the offense when Mac Jones was on the field and then when Bailey Zappi was on the field? Mac Jones, I felt like no one was trying. When Zappi was on the field, they got a touch on their first drive. They were actually like moving the ball well.
Yeah.
Bailey Zappi went 5 for 5, 20 yards. A lot of it was running, but he was a great drive. We still ended up losing the game. Zappi still threw a pick later on and everything, but the mentality of the team from the first half to second half. I mean, you also have your locker room. You got your halftime locker room chat as well.
Yeah.
But the fact that everyone backs up Zappi more than Jones, I think it's time to move on. It's just that the locker room. I will say that his development was hindered, and I'll give him that. But he hasn't proven since, and I think Zappi has proven more. But I still think, and then I think the Patriots as well are not helping either. We had a chance to get DeAndre Hopkins for 2 years, $24 million. We signed Jonnu Smith, who's not on the team anymore, for like a larger contract. And I'm like, are you kidding? I mean, he's having a decent year, actually low-key outplaying Kyle Pitts, but like,
you could argue.
DeAndre Hopkins, how do you pass up on one of the best? I get he's old and might be out of his element.
He's doing great right now.
He went to the Titans. He went to the Titans. Are you kidding me? What? Well, Ryan Tannehill and Will Levis, he had a better shot with Mac Jones or Bailey Zappi.
Yeah, but hey, there's plenty of good quarterbacks in this draft, and you guys will have some.
Yeah, hopefully you get one.
Patriots and the Giants will have some good pictures here.
I hate to say it.
Well, I don't even know if the Giants are going to because they decide that they want to win every game now.
Unless the
I appreciate it.
Paisan.
I appreciate you guys.
The Paisan.
The Paisan wants to keep doing good.
Mr. DeVito. Oh,
Dude,
no.
I thought his name was Danny DeVito the first 5.
I keep saying Dan. I keep saying
know.
Danny every time.
I was doing it as a joke at first, but like now it's kind of stuck. It's like Danny DeVito is just the man over there, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, listen, I think the 3 of us, we put our quarterbacks together. They're still not a good quarterback.
No,
if you include Zach Wilson, obviously, not Aaron Rodgers.
Actually, Aaron Rodgers just started to back up. Actually, I saw him throw a spiral in practice today.
He's back at practice. Yeah. I don't think he's going to come back this year.
He's got 21 days.
There's just no point.
90 days. He could be back.
They're out of it.
3 months after surgery.
He would come back Christmas Eve, which would be a nice Christmas gift.
Hey, they would play against us soon. We need to lose. You guys got to beat us.
See, that doesn't even feel right, though, if we beat you. Because then we beat you finally, but it's not for a good reason. We help you out.
Yes, of course.
And then then you guys get to draft your quarterback for the next 10 years. I don't want to see it.
Well, we said that with Mac Jones. I mean,
fair enough.
It's tough. It's always a gamble.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
But yeah, that's more in the football realm. I believe, Carl, you had some baseball questions you want the boys to go through.
Yeah, I do. We have a couple of things with baseball that we want to do. We haven't talked about baseball in a while. It's been mostly a football show. But also, just so you guys know, Casey is going to be doing our picks this week for football. So if you're listening to this now, check the TikTok and Instagram page for our football picks, and you will see what Casey decides there. And we'll also have a parlay for the Thursday night game we'll be doing with Joey over there. We'll give us a parlay. Our correspondent, he's playing COD right now, so he can't hear me. But yeah, so switching over to MLB, we have, the offseason going on right now, and we have a lot of really big free agents. And right now, I'm going to kind of list some off, and the 3 of us are going to give where we think these top free agents are going to go. So we're going to pick one team for each player each, and we're going to start with our guest here. You're going to go first. And the first guy I have off the board, I think, is everybody who everybody is talking about, Shohei Ohtani. This guy can do both, pitch, he can hit, he does it all. He's Shohei freaking Ohtani. Unfortunately can't pitch next season, but where do you think he's going to land next year, Casey?
All right. In my personal opinion, if he wanted to stay with the West, he could have stayed with the Angels, right? But the problem is the Angels can't manage to get in the playoffs. So I think he's going to a playoff team, and it's got to be a big market, because if you're getting someone like Ohtani, you're getting someone not only that can pitch, someone that can hit. So I think the biggest markets we have, and I hate to say it because I'm a Sox fan, the Yankees are definitely on the board. Because they got the money, but they're not West Coast. So I don't know if that might be his only reason not going to the Yankees. Mets have the money, but I was told that they're in rebuild, and I know they just got Luis Severino, so I don't think I mean, I know he can't pitch anyways, but I don't know if that's going to be a big one. My big two ones, my 1-2 punch is Dodgers and Giants. I think Giants always find a way to win. They're missing a big hitter. Their biggest issue, their pitching is always good. They need a hitter, and I think Ohtani can give that. But if he really wants to win, and if he really, really wants to win, in a place with money, you go to LA. You go to the Dodgers.
Like that.
I know you're not gonna like that. I know you got some heart with the Giants. The Dodgers is probably a dead cut, number one for me. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, any other place. I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, I can't even be too mad because that was the exact place that I was thinking as well. And all the years I've watched the Giants, I've never seen the Dodgers shed payroll. Not sign back Trey Turner, get rid of Kimbrel, get rid of some big payroll guys, and not sign someone to replace him. So I think they loaded up, getting ready to give this guy a contract for the rest of his career, and I think he also will end up in LA with the Dodgers.
Dude, that's tough. I honestly was gonna go with the Dodgers here, but I can't have all three of us the Dodgers. So I'm gonna go with the one that hits most at home here, as I think he's gonna be a New York freaking Met. I think it's gonna be a battle between the two heavy hitters in the league, money wise. You got the Dodgers over there with Magic Johnson and co. And then Mets with Steve Cohen, throwing money around. So I think the Steve Cohen is going to come out on top, and he's going to sign Shohei, but it's going to end up being a contract we've never seen before, and it's going to be insane. And history is going to be talking about if it was a good choice or not. But I have a feeling like this guy is going to shed the money to do it.
Yeah, I will say if anyone's going to spend the most on him, it will be the Mets. But
I agree.
From what I heard last year and what happened this last season, I don't think he goes just because he wants to win. I feel like that's the point of leaving Anaheim. Otherwise, he would have stayed.
True. Yeah, definitely. All right. So the next guy I got up on the board is another Japanese player, and it's Yamamoto. I forget what his first name is, but
I don't even think we should attempt that. I think
I'm not gonna try it, but he's going by Yamamoto. He's a 25-year-old pitcher out of Japan. Scouts have been talking about this guy since for about 2 years now. He's been on the radar since the WBC that happened earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are talking about where he's going to go, and he's just going to be an instant ace wherever he goes. So again, Casey, you're our special guest. Where do you think he is going to go?
So there's rumors that I heard from your brother that he wants to go to a place where there's a Japanese player. He wants to be somewhere comfortable and ideally West Coast because it's closer to home. But if he does decide to follow Japanese, like a Japanese player, he would either go to the Red Sox and with Yoshida, he would either go to the Cubs with Suzuki, or he follows Ohtani after Ohtani signs. But he might not be able to wait that long. I don't know what the window is for Japanese players.
It's 45 days, so I think he has until early January he has to sign a deal by, or whatever 45 days is.
Depending on when Ohtani signs, he could follow him, but the problem is if you follow Ohtani, you're gonna need to be a big market team as well.
Yeah.
So
money gonna want a bag too.
Whenever you get a player from overseas, you're paying a lot of money, not just for the contract, but to pay for him to get over as well. Mm-hmm. So I think, in my opinion, I would say the Dodgers, but I feel like they will get Ohtani. I think that he would actually go to the Cubs. I like him going to the Cubs with Suzuki. The Cubs, if they re-sign Bellinger, who I know who is also a free agent, they could put something together in the Cubs. They have the facilities. I think their issue is pitching because I know they have the offense, but I think that's an underdog for where he will sign. And I like to pick an underdog once in a while, so I think that's my underdog for this.
Nice,
that's a good one.
Mine. I think the Giants will finish second to every single free agent.
That's so tough.
I've seen it over the past few years. I've seen them in every sweepstakes, and I've seen them finish second in every free agent signing there is because they either they get more money elsewhere, or they know they can win better elsewhere. So I think they finish second to this guy too, and I think he will actually head to the other team, and I think he will actually head to Queens, and I think he will actually head to the Mets. Shockingly enough,
go.
I know Casey talked about it with the rebuild and the direction the Mets on win now. They're building up for next year, but I think you sign him to a long enough contract. He goes with Senga, nice little
Yeah.
1-2 punch at the
Forgot about
top.
Senga.
Yeah, you put a little 1-2 punch right at the top,
The pitcher.
and and then you can build some young prospect and another great way to bring some more fans to the stadium in a year where they say they're not competing, but we'll see what happens.
I like that. I like
Yeah.
that.
So I'm gonna go with the
I
Mets.
mean, there's a lot of teams that say they're not going to compete, like the Diamondbacks, and the next thing you know, they're in the World Series. So anything can happen in this sport. As much as I would love to see Yamamoto go to the Mets, I think it's going to be tough landing two big guys. So I think he's going to end up going to this pains me to say. I think he's going to end up going to the Yankees. Yamamoto, I heard a lot of things saying that he really, really wants to go to he wants to go to a really good team, and he I think was a fan of the Yankees. There's like a lot of free agents that just look at the Yankees and they see it as the holy grail of baseball. So I think he's gonna end up signing with the Yankees. He's gonna go cross borough over from Queens to the Bronx.
Cole and him at the 1-2 would be pretty good, especially with Severino now gone.
Crazy.
I think they have room now to put him in the rotation. So.
They could get
Definitely. They had room before that. But,
they need pitching bad, and that's the most popular one on the market. So after between him and Blake Snell. So
yeah.
The next guy I have up for us to discuss is Cody Bellinger.
Yep.
So Casey, take it away.
I mean, like I said it before, if he can go back to the Cubs with Yamamoto, that team can make some noise. I think I'm gonna stick with it. I think he felt so much happier in a Cub uniform than he did as a Dodger. Like I felt like he lost his love. I feel like the fans got rid of him really quick, and I felt like he was a whole new player this year. He definitely was. I don't think he won comeback player of the year, but he could have been considered for comeback player of the year. He had a hell of a season.
He might have won.
Did he win?
I think he did.
Well, if he did, it was well deserved. And I think just because of that, I feel like he should go back to where all the pieces were put together. I think he'd go back to the Cubs. He finally looked happy, and I think he can put back together a season he did last year.
Yeah, I do like your pick with the Cubs. I could see it. I agree with a lot of your points. I think they will definitely be in the hunt to try and retain him. I guess it depends what a couple other pieces do. I know Stroman's a free agent. See the direction they go, the Cubs, if they get some other pieces back. But I think the Yankees will be so pissed off that they lost Yamamoto to the Mets. So I think the Yankees now have money to spend. I know they've been talking years and years, and Cashman seems to trust Donaldson and other guys on the left side of that infield. So I think finally Cashman has been pissed off at the media all offseason. I think he's going to shove it to him this offseason, finally spend like the big bad Yankees again. I think Cody Bellinger will go to the Bronx, wear some pinstripes, and go love that short porch. Over there.
He would look good in some pinstripes.
That's home run heaven for him. Actually.
So I think that would be great.
Some pinstripes. Tyler, I'm gonna agree with you here on this one. I don't want to pick two places back to back that people go with Yankees, but I feel like the Yankees are gonna get a lot of the big free agents off the board. Yeah. So I'm gonna agree with you here, and I think that right field fence, that porch, is just perfect for Cody Bellinger's swing. He's hit a lot of home runs there already when he has played there. Yes. So I think Cody Bellinger does go to the Yankees. He goes to the Bronx. Yeah. I'm so sorry for you Boston fan over there, Casey.
That would be tough.
There's a reason why I'm picking Yankees
off the board.
There's a reason I'm picking Yankee for any of these free agents, but it's okay. I'm hoping that this happens.
My last and final free agent is one that was requested by Casey to talk about, and it is Blake Snell.
Well, I mean, you're talking about Cy Young free agent. I mean, that someone's got to grab him.
Yeah.
And he just had a fantastic year with the Padres. He was like their one bright spot besides him. And I mean, when Tatis came back, he was pretty well with Machado and everything. But even though, despite their disappointing season, that was their brightest part. Yeah. One Cy Young, well deserved. Yeah. And now he's a free agent. He was good. He had a rough year the year before. And I don't know what he did this offseason, put it together, had a Cy Young season. And now it's time for him to run it back with the Padres because the Padres have everything. They already spent the money. Like, everyone is there. It's just, I don't know what happened last year. I don't know if it's because if they blame Tatis, I don't even think it was his fault. Him not playing for the first 60 games.
Yeah.
I mean, he came back and still hit. I think he almost hit 30. He almost hit 30 again.
Yeah.
Imagine he played 60 more games. They'll have their clutch guy, despite Mr. PED. He will come back, and this team has everything. Like this team has everything you could picture.
Yeah.
And if they put him back at the 1, they're just filling everything they need. Like they have the money.
I agree.
I just don't know if they have enough money, but I think that's a good spot. I think he stays.
That's a good take, Tyler.
That's tough because I was gonna say he stays, but I kind of want to switch it up as well. But I know the other teams that were looking at him. I saw the Padres and Giants were looking at him.
As well, yeah.
He wants to stay out west, but I still just can't see the Giants landing him over exactly what Casey says, unfinished business. They have a new coach. Maybe the locker room can get all together this year. I mean, if he pitched there so well and he won a Cy Young with them, why not run it back? So I do think he'll stay with the Padres, and I do.
That's a good one. I'm gonna go in a different direction. As much as I do see him staying on the West Coast, I think he's gonna go somewhere completely different, and that would be the St. Louis Cardinals.
Ooh. Wow.
The Cardinals have been on the cusp of being good or great for the past couple of years, and I think they've just missed out on having good pitching. And they got Paul Goldschmidt, they got Nolan Arenado, some really good young guys over there. So I think they go out and they signed a big pitcher, and I think Blake Snell could be that guy.
I actually do like Carl's pick, but I'm sticking with Padres though. But
sticking with the Padres, I think that's number one. But I think it would be
Yeah.
cool to see him sign with the Cardinals.
I agree, because especially I think the Cardinals behind the Mets and the Yankees and Padres was the most disappointing team in baseball.
Yeah,
They were favorites to win NL Central, did not come out on top.
Yeah.
Nope.
And like Carl said, their pitching was atrocious. They got rid of Jordan Montgomery. They got rid of Jordan Montgomery and a bunch of he was like their only good pitcher.
Just went downhill.
And they tanked on purpose. And I mean, they have the room. They did just get Sonny Gray. That was huge. And
it was huge.
Get another pitcher like Blake Snell, I think. I mean, that's like you said, Goldschmidt, he's going to be there. Arenado's there.
Yeah.
You got Tommy Edman. If Wilson Contreras can put together a season like he did with
back
the Cubs.
The Cubs. Yep.
That's one of the best catchers in baseball.
Yeah, he's one of the best catchers in baseball. No, hands down.
You got a lot to look at there. So I do like the pick, but I think Padres is still for me. So
yeah.
All right, so that is our free agents topic. So I hope you guys enjoyed our MLB insight from Casey Ruff. But we actually now are going to turn it over to you, our fans, the lovely two-man fandom. So we asked you guys in the beginning of the week when we found out that Casey was going to be joining us for a couple of questions. So Tyler put together all the questions that were put into the comments, and then Tyler is also going to sprinkle in a little bit of other questions that we just want to ask Casey ourselves. So from the two-man to the two-man fandom, Tyler, I'm going to turn it over to you to ask the questions from the two-man.
Of course. Well, I would like to say, after I did put on that you were coming on the show, we got plus 10 followers, a lot of likes on this. So you must be a very loved man.
Okay,
sure. For us. And we did get a lot of comments, some from a couple of the same people who really want to know a lot about you, and we don't want to leave them out.
Oh, of course
so
not.
I'll just go top down. All right. And the people would like to, we'll say names. Grace Bond would like to know what your hair routine is.
Believe it or not, all I do is I take my shower. I wash my hair just like anyone else.
Sure. Wait, but you shower? You shower?
I do shower, believe it or not. But I only use like the shampoo / conditioner, the better for the 2-in-1 anyways. It's quicker that way. Sure. I do that once every 3 to 4 days. So like today I did it. I used it today. It makes it, dry and floofy, but then it gets the grease, like I not necessarily grease, but like you got to get the oils, your natural oils that your hair needs to give it time and lubricate the hair. Then you and you do it and you repeat it, and it gets the hair nice and glowing. Especially since I can't keep using shampoo because it dries out my hair, and I had a serious case of dandruff growing up. Like one of my best friends, Josh, literally saw me used to make snow piles in math class back in elementary school.
People are eating when they're watching. They're eating dinner and lunch.
I'm sorry, but it was bad. And now we're in business. We're good. We don't have to worry about it as we did as kids. We finally found something that works. So.
Oh, that's hilarious. Use Head and Shoulders.
Head and Shoulders, and I swap it off with something
Nice.
else as well. You can't use the same one. You got trick the hit. You got to trick your body. No, I'm so serious though. Like
I believe
it
it.
works. It works. It works. I keep it on your
Oh,
toes.
that's awesome. That's
Gotcha.
awesome.
Well, this next question comes from Alyssa. I'm not going to attempt her last name unless her middle name's in there as well.
No.
But you used to work at Union Street Tavern.
Yes,
Maybe
I
you
did.
still do. It says, does Casey think he was the hottest bartender at Union Street Tavern?
So I will say this, and this is the only downside I had to it. I was the only guy bartender. So I will say I was the most handsome bartender, but I have to say I was clearly the bottom of the pile when it comes to the sexiest and most attractive bartender.
Look at you.
I would probably have to be at the bottom.
Honestly, Casey, I know you're trying to be humble and modest here, but come on, tell the fans what they want to hear. You were the sexiest bartender. Come on.
I know they want to. I know they want to hear that. And don't get me wrong, those old ladies love me.
I was about to say, I saw some
They
60-year-olds coming on
love me.
Tuesday at noon, man. I saw.
Oh, they and I had my fair share of numbers and everything, but never returned any of them. But I will have to say, more people come for the girls than they do the one guy.
Fair enough.
So I will have to be. I will
that
have
hard
to be the
believe,
bottom of the
Casey.
list.
I find that hard to believe.
I mean, my competition is way above me, so I don't know.
Fair enough. Well, we also have another one from our good friend Mike Quas, and you have said you are a avid beer drinker.
Oh,
So he
yes.
says top 3 beers ever.
All right. So top 3 beers ever. So coming from New England, especially, we're Connecticut, there is a very popular type of beer called a New England Hazy IPA.
Nice.
My favorite New England Hazy, because it's my favorite beer, is from Massachusetts. I forgot the exact city, but it's from Treehouse Brewing Company. There is a beer called the King Julius, 8%, 8.4% beer, and it tastes just like orange juice.
I've heard of
and
this.
you don't taste the booze. And this place actually specifically keeps you at a limit to 3 beers because they want to make sure everyone can drive. Well, because you feel it after those 3 beers, and you need some time to relax. And it is so good. It does the job. It's relaxing. Fantastic to sip. Number 1. My number 2, and I'm not a huge sour guy, but I know it. Sours aren't the best, but I think you would like this, Tyler, because it was a fruit punch sour beer from back east called the Kool-Aid. It sells
Kool-Aid,
the
that's
first day
crazy.
every time. It is a fruit punch flavored beer out of Bloomfield, so nearby. Very biased from nearby stuff, but it was for a sour. It's like you're drinking fruit punch, like you're drinking Kool-Aid. I'm like, this shouldn't be allowed. Like
Awesome.
it's like it's more sweet than a sour, in all honesty. And the aftertaste is just like it just rolls off your tongue. And my third favorite, and because I can't leave it off the board, I have to bring a Europe beer into this. The Oktoberfest beer from I know.
USA.
I had the Oktoberfest beer in a Stein. It's just the environment. Is the Oktoberfest by Hoffenbrau. Very good. I enjoyed that one very thoroughly. And they told us in the tent that it was 6%. It ended up being like 7.2. So they tricked us. And that is why that story about Oktoberfest happened, because they been thinking 6. It was not, okay?
That's awesome.
It was very unexpected. So
That is great.
I will say, though, for a beer that I'm not mentioning in the top 3, but I will say the best beer of all time, and this is a little biased. Corona with a lime.
Let's go.
On a beach,
No better vibe.
sitting
No
down,
better
watching
vibe.
the ocean. It's
Yeah.
just the vibe and everything.
Yep.
Everyone would think, oh, that doesn't make you a beer guy. I will say that you don't understand the experience, because it is phenomenal. But if we're talking about real
Put
beer,
that on a t-shirt. Put that on
Yeah,
a
should.
t-shirt.
That's the next merch.
because those other 3 are good beers by itself without the vibe. But that you can't go wrong with a Corona lime on the beach.
You
Like,
can't
you
go wrong with a Corona
can't.
and lime, man. You can't.
go wrong.
You just can't.
That's awesome.
Absolutely not.
That's awesome. Well, we got 2 more questions for you here. One coming from Clay. And Clay is saying, can Casey really ball, or is he all talk?
So I will say I mostly talk. I did have a decent
This
season.
kid Casey is being so freaking humble, and I hate it because he's not humble in real life. All right, you know
No.
what? Just because you're in front of a camera doesn't mean that you can just change.
All
who you are.
right.
You know how it is.
So back when I was on the club baseball team, this is where playoffs happen. This is where I'm October Casey, okay? So
There it is.
we go. At the time, I had my girlfriend there and everything. I had all the encouragement. It was playoff time. We were the 7th seed against the 2 seed Vermont, and boy, did I ball out. I went 3 for 3, in my opinion, which was only a home run from a cycle. According to the books, it was a single, triple. I beg to differ. Because my walk-off hit, I made it to second before the person crossed the plate. I stand by it. And we won a walk-off. I had 5 RBIs. We won 5-4. That was a fantastic game.
Yeah.
Sadly, we lost the next game 1-0. No, we had no offense at all. That lefty, that
My ankles are still there. My ankles lie on
Tyler
that
loved
field.
that lefty pitcher. And I mean, I think the stats said what? I batted 300, give or take, but I didn't have a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Casey, Carlos about like 600.
Yeah, well, I mean, he walked. He
No, he did
was
walk
just-
a bunch.
He
He did
walked
walk
a
a
bunch.
bunch.
He was on the plate. So
I know. I'm only kidding.
he's on base god. I didn't really walk at all. I'd rather swing than get hit by a pitch. So.
I don't blame you.
But you led the team in RBIs and everything.
Yeah,
but
so
I was okay.
Casey knew how to ball. He cherry picked in basketball, but he still got his points.
Basketball. Oh,
I'll give you some.
That's what I
backup.
think they were talking about. I think they were talking
what I also
about
thought.
basketball.
Was it basketball?
That's what I
Oh,
assumed
if
too,
it
but
was
hey, talk your
if it's
shit, man.
basketball, I was MVP in the rec league for back-to-back years.
See,
I'll tell
this
you
is
that.
what I was talking
I'll
about.
tell you that.
Baseball, you were always a little bit more humble, but basketball.
Oh my God.
Casey was.
Oh,
Nah,
Casey
Casey
would
behind the
shoot.
arc was pretty
Pe-
gross.
People used to hate
Yeah.
me because I would just shoot and they also hate the cherry picking.
Yeah.
But like I trust my team to get the rebound and they trust me to be on the other side of the court. It's how the play was written up in the books. I'll show you the books sometime.
Yeah. Okay, show me the book. Show me the book.
But hey, I used to shoot breakaway threes. I wouldn't do layups. Like it's just just to make a point. I don't know. I was pretty good. I wouldn't say I'm as good as I was then though. It's been a long time since I played.
Fair enough. And then
All I could do is shoot. I can't make anything, and I can barely make a layup. I only can shoot. That's all I
from
can.
behind the arc.
To be fair, I'm not El Fuego, but I can shoot behind the arc though.
El Fuego right there, Tyler Garnett.
Mr. El Fuego.
shout out. Well, staying on the basketball topic, we got our last question from our fans. This is from your friend Josh, who you guys will actually be traveling. And when this podcast comes out, you guys will be in Kansas.
We'll be in Kansas that day.
You guys are going to Kansas. Josh, big Kansas fan. You, big UConn fan. They're playing each
yeah.
other in Kansas. So he wants to know, do you think that UConn has a chance against Kansas?
What do you mean? Do we have a chance? Is that he said a chance?
He says
Of course,
chance.
we have a chance. There's a reason why
There's
we're the
always a
4. And
chance.
there's a reason why we're the 4 seed and they're the 5 seed. Okay, I get that they lost to Marquette. He keeps saying Big East is a terrible conference, but why do the Big East keep beating the Big 12? UConn can play; they're still undefeated. And in all honesty, if we're talking about if we're gonna go off of matchups, Klingon and Sampson, our 2 centers, are going up against, and he likes to ride this person a lot because his last name is Dickinson, Hunter Dickinson. His name is Hunter Dickinson.
That guy's gross.
He is phenomenal. He pretty much has been averaging 20 points and 15 boards a game, give or take, right? He is phenomenal, but in terms of because he dominates in the post and he can shoot threes, that's going to be the biggest issue. But I still think UConn, like especially this year, we're top 5 in efficiency and offense and defense. Kansas they barely just beat a no-name team in Eastern Illinois by 8 points. And they think they can take on UConn? Are you kidding me? No, I will say it's going to be a great game. The only reason why UConn will have trouble, if we were home, clear-cut winners, the issue is we're in Allen Fieldhouse, the loudest stadium in all of college basketball. It was voted number 1 this year.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And their record at Allen Fieldhouse since the Allen Fieldhouse has been created is like 800 or 900 to like 100. Like they win every 9 of 10 games.
Oh my God.
And most of those games are against like ranked teams. Like they're in the same division as Texas, Baylor, who has won the national championship in the past, and a bunch of other things. But I mean, it's going to be a great game nonetheless.
Yeah.
Because again, I don't want to jinx anyone. It hasn't happened yet. But you got UConn and Kansas. It's going to be a great game. I think it's anyone's game. I'll even give Kansas a shot, but they are favored 75-25 as of right now. But I think UConn will fight. They'll show them why they're the national college basketball capital of the world.
Yeah.
So
Listen, that's going to be a good game. Make sure everyone tune in. I think it's at 7 or 8.
It's going to be 9 o'clock actually.
9 o'clock there.
Here, it's going to be 8 o'clock in Kansas,
Yeah.
but it'll be 9 o'clock in East Coast time.
So we'll definitely be.
When's that game? Friday or
Friday.
Saturday?
Friday night.
Friday. So the day that this is, you guys are hearing this.
Yep.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Stay tuned that night and watch. We should be sitting, since my brother works for the team, as I've been told by a lot of friends, I am a Make-A-Wish kid, because my brother gives me a lot of tickets because he works for the team. And I cannot deny the fact that I take advantage when I can. And me and Josh, he's like you said, longtime Kansas fan. I'm a longtime UConn fan. This is and he's never been to Kansas.
Cool.
I never been there. We both love our teams to death. We've been talking about it. He's literally on his way to my house right now. We're gonna get on the flight tomorrow, and it's gonna be a fantastic time. We'll be I think we should be right behind the UConn bench, if I'm not mistaken. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's going to be a fantastic game. I can't wait.
Yeah, me and Carl will definitely be on the lookout for you.
Yes.
Watch the game.
We'll be watching.
Oh, don't worry. I'm probably
Be
gonna
at work like this.
It's my lucky sweatshirt, so I'm gonna make sure the sweatshirt's on. So look for the white.
Sounds good.
Look for the white Casey out there.
Yeah.
Oh, don't you worry. And then I'm gonna have to go incognito when I go out to the bars, because whether they win or lose, I don't want to die.
You don't want to die either way.
Or if we lose, I don't want to be heckled till I die. So I
sense.
choose life, and I'll be incognito.
Yeah, knowing you though, you're gonna be going to people. How does it feel? UConn won if they win.
No. I'm smart about that. Trust me. When it comes, if it's New York fans, different story. But we're talking about Kansas. I have no idea what's in the Midwest. I choose life because I don't know what their laws are there. So I don't. If I don't know the place, fine. I'll close my mouth and enjoy the experience. But otherwise, I'll say my stuff. I'll say my 2 cents.
That sounds great, man. We're excited for you. We can't wait to hear about it. But I think that unfortunately wraps up the end of our first guest appearance on the show. Casey, big round of applause.
Thank you, Casey. You were great.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
I literally, my face is just stuck in this position right
The
now.
whole
I'm
entire
smiling
time,
the whole episode.
I
face
enjoyed
hurts from
every second of
smiling.
this. This was phenomenal.
Yeah, but Casey,
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
yeah,
Thank you.
Make sure to follow Casey Ruff on all social media platforms. Also, make sure to keep following and subscribing to the show. 2-Man Podcast, Instagram, Twitter /X, YouTube. We have episodes drop every other Friday. But this is definitely one for the books.
Yeah, one for the books. And if you are following and listening to this podcast just for Casey, please follow the 2-Man Podcast and buy some merch as Tyler is wearing on his chest. We have sweatshirts out and there's more to come. So happy holidays, everybody. And Casey, thank you again.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Roof.